Let's go.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name's Garth, I am one half of the Den Den Boys. And in this episode we are talking about the catastrophe that is Sony's announcement. The sky is falling in, the world as we know it is ending. Physical games as of 2028 are dead. So what does that mean for us as gamers? In this video, I'm gonna have a bit of a chat about the announcement, my 2 cents worth about what it's gonna look like for us as gamers. And then stay tuned for the end because I'm gonna try to be Nostradamus on your ass and predict what this might actually do to games in the future. But before we start, do all that great YouTube stuff as per usual. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you. Let's do it. Okay. So unless you've been living under a rock and you're in the gaming community, you heard the news, which started with Rockstar a couple of weeks back saying that GTA 6 was not going to be physical. Which at the time, people thought, oh, it's just Rockstar, it's not going to mean anything. But Rockstar is such a massive company, GTA 6 is such a massive game that the ripples of that decision were always going to float through the games industry. And this is where we landed. But no one really predicted that Sony was going to go down this route. But the announcement was, as of 2028, Sony has announced that there will be no physical discs for any of their PlayStation games going forward. And even towards the back end of 2027, you'll see a reduced amount of physical games hitting the shelves. So that's the statement. What does it mean? Well, for me, for you, it means none of this. At the end of the day, I'm a collector, and a lot of you guys out there are collectors too, and we can't collect anymore. So it's a sad day. Basically, gaming as I've always known it is now over. Those memories I have of going to game stores, picking up a game in my hand, looking at the cover, flicking through a booklet back in the day, don't happen anymore, looking at the back of a game and deciding whether or not I was going to play this game, taking it home, popping that disc out, putting it in the machine. It's gone, it's over. It's going to be resigned to history. So basically that's what the announcement means. It's a sad day. Whether you are a physical collector or not, it's a sad day, I think. But let's get into what it actually might mean in terms of problems for the games industry. Okay, so I sat down. I didn't want to come in here and be just like screaming like an old man at the cloud. Let it go for a couple of days before I had to think about what this actually might mean for you, me, and a lot of people in our gaming community. So problem number one that I can see is, and it's a big problem for me now, and it's going to be a massive issue in the future, is that when you pay for a game, you never really own that game, which is something I really struggle with now. Games come out and I find it very hard to drop $60, $70, $80, $90 on a digital only game for that very fact that I don't have it in my hands. I can't put it on my shelf. I can never have it again. I'm basically just paying for the right to play the game, which never really sits with me that well. And as a collector, that means that I don't have it. If it's not physically in my hands, then I don't really feel like I own it. So it's gonna be a massive problem. It's gonna be a huge problem for me and collectors out there. So that's problem number one that I see. Problem number two, which a lot of people are bringing up in the community, is that if game companies in the future decide that this game is not going to be on PSN the licensing runs out, the servers run out, it's gone. You don't have it. There are so many, and the examples through history, there are so many great games on the Wii shop that you can't play anymore, that were fantastic games that I regret not downloading at the time, thinking they'd always be there. There's games on the PSN, PS3, PS4 that haven't necessarily been ported to the PS5 PSN store. And yeah, great games, gone. Can't get them anymore. And they're lost into the ether of gaming history, which I think is really sad that these great games are now just gone. So that's problem number 2. Third problem that I see, or that I think, and please sing out in the comments if you see others that I haven't mentioned in this video, but the third one that I can think of is the physical brick and mortar stores. Back in my day, we had Toy World, we had Target, Kmart's, Big W's. Basically every retailer sold games. And that over time has dwindled and dwindled and dwindled to now in Australia, we just have specialist game stores, EB being the biggest one. And then on top of that, we have some of the major retailers like Big W and a few other places will sell games. JB Hi-Fi is the biggest retailer in Australia and is also going to pull out. But the difference between them and, say, a dedicated game store is that they have so much else going on. They sell all the homewares, TVs, all that kind of stuff. They don't just rely on games. Whereas a company like EB, is that literally the nail in the coffin? What do they do? If you can't sell a physical game, what are they going to sell? Boxes on a shelf that are empty? Like, no, there's no resale. I don't know what they're going to do. So, unfortunately, maybe it doesn't matter to this generation, but yeah, I remember those memories of going into toy stores like a Mr. Toys or any general toy store at the time and seeing dedicated gaming areas where the boxes were on the shelves and you would flick through every cover and you would look at the games on the screens and watch them and watch previews and just be immersed in gaming and see the consoles and everything lined up. And as a kid, you would just hold the box in your hand dreaming that you could have them. That's not so much as an adult, that I don't have that, but still that physical touch of having the game and looking at it and browsing a shelf full of games is still an amazing feeling. It's something I still enjoy doing. I still find myself walking to these game stores, and even if I'm not in the mood if I'm not in the market to buy something, I'm in there perusing the game, seeing what's out that I don't know about. Oh wow, I haven't seen that game, picking it up. So not only is it going to be the death of the game stores, but also, unfortunately, that's a memory, a core memory of my life that is never coming back. So yeah, it's a sad thing to think about, there never being a game store ever again. I can't see how they survive. Whether you like EB and some of these big, in America they have GameStops and all that kind of stuff, whether you like these game stores or not, they're still a fabric of the gaming community. Yeah, it's a sad day. Number 4 that I can see as a problem, let me know if you agree, is what's this going to do in the lead up to 2028 in terms of secondhand games? Is this going to just blow the market up for secondhand games, and people are going to see this as a way to cash in on gamers like myself and people and other collectors who want to start acquiring this physical media before it's gone, and then, it's a supply and demand thing, right? If there's a demand for it and you're offering the supply, well, you can charge whatever you want. It's whatever anyone's willing to pay for it. So secondhand games, PS3, PS4, PS5, GameCube, Wii, all those great things, are people going to jack the prices up on that because they know people are desperate to collect them and they've got us over a barrel in some way? I hope not. As I'll talk about later, for what my plan's going to be for gaming in the future. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, it could make collecting, which is already really hard at the moment, even harder. I hope not, but I mean, we've seen it with flipping retro games in general. It's a dollar sign for people. It's a way to make money off, unfortunately, the things that we love, our passions, to other people is just a way to make money. It sucks, but it's the truth. So yeah, hopefully not, but I can see a world where retro prices, secondhand games in general, skyrocket, and that's not a good thing. Okay, 5, another problem that I can see on the horizon, other than the vibes and everything else that's coming with it of the news, but is kind of linked to the last point, but you know, those companies at the moment that are already making physical copies of, you know, digital only games or previously unreleased physical games or long lost physical games and re-releasing them, are they going to do the same thing? Are they going to see this as a way to go, we got a window of opportunity here to make some money. Let's jack the prices up on these games. So, you know, all the offenders out there, limited runs, IM 8-bit, all those game companies that this is their bread and butter, are they going to jump on that bandwagon as well and jack the prices? If they were smart, they wouldn't. They would say, you know, we can make even more customers coming to us if we keep the same price point. But you know what companies are like, if there's a chance to make money, they might. So I'm not 100% sure that will happen, but it's definitely a possibility. And just another reason why collecting will be even harder. So, just as I've said, there's a couple of things, 5 things that I can think of that are going to be problems with this announcement from Sony and other game companies out there. Stay tuned. Next, we're going to talk about what I'm planning to do with the news. How's this going to affect me and what I'm going to do going forward. Quickly before I get my thoughts, and my plan for 2020, I just had another one that I was thinking of, and that's the resell. So I'm very blessed. If I want to go out and buy a game new, I can do that. That's really cool. I don't always do that, but if there's a game I really want to play day one, I will go and get it. But a lot of people out there can't do that. The world's getting more expensive. Games are certainly not getting any cheaper. And if you're cutting out that option for people to buy second-hand physical media, because the games don't go down, I mean, once Nintendo sets a price, they tend to keep it the same price forever on their e-stores. And yeah, there's sales and things like that. And yes, you've got PlayStation Plus and all that stuff. But if you want to have the physical game in your hand, and you want to wait for it to be cheaper because someone's played it and traded it, that option's gone. Even swapping games, you know, as kids, swapping. Remember when we were kids and you used to swap the game with your friends? You'd be like, hey, if I finish this one, I'll swap you. You have my game, play it, give it back. You were trading games in the playground. Yeah, it's a sad thing that people won't be able to get their games at a reasonable price point. They'll pretty much be locked into, well, you've got to get it at top price, and maybe once in a blue moon we might reduce the price. But yeah, that's a bummer for people out there that don't necessarily have a lot of coin to spend on games. All right, change the scenery. Let's get into what I'm gonna do, or what my plan is based on the news from Sony and other games companies. My plan is that this, essentially, 2028 will be the end of gaming for me, if it goes the way it's going. I refuse to pay full price for a digital only game that I can't physically own. I find it hard to do now. You know, there is a price bracket that I'm willing to pay for a game, but once I see that, you know, full price tag on a digital game, I can't bring myself to do it, and that's now. And admittedly, a lot of those games, when they start off being digital only, somewhere along the line they end up being, you know, brought to consoles, things like that, and I end up getting the physical copy later on, or, you know, some of those physical companies, I've ended up supporting the physical copy of it, and it ends up being distributed from that. And I go, okay, well, if I've helped in some way, that's, you know, good for everyone else. But in terms of purely picking up AAA titles, brand new games from Sony and Nintendo and other companies, yeah, that's it for me. I'm not doing it. And that's not old man screaming at the sky. That's just, you know, valuing how I value my money and how I spend it. And to me, purchasing a license for a digital game that I never will physically own, even if I download it, you know, you say, oh, but you can download it. Yeah, but even recently, the PS3 stores closed, servers are going down. You won't be able to play them the way that you want to play them. And if you know, internet goes out, servers go down, and you go, well, that's okay, I've got the disc, pop it in and play it. That might not be an option anymore. They might have you linked to a server. So yeah, for me, it's going to mean the end of gaming as I know it. And unfortunately, gaming, yeah, will truly have died in some way. Part of my gaming existence will have died. And that's not being melodramatic, I don't think. That's just me going, well, hey, that's cool, Sony, and the world's moving away. Look, I understand that I'm an old man in this situation. I've been doing, this is like, you know, I'm 44 years old. I've been playing games since I was 8 years old. At some point it ends. Not all great things last forever. This is just one of those things. The world will move on, gaming will exist. It'll be different. Generations after me will play in a different way. I don't think gaming's gonna die completely. I don't think it'll be as big as it is now. I can't see, you know, even if 20% of people move away and say, no, that's not for me, that's 20% less income that these gaming companies are gonna get. So there's 20% less people playing, there's 20% less income. You're gonna have to make that up somehow, whether that's making prices higher or, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But for me, this is just my decision. And please comment, what are you gonna do? But that'll be the end for me. I look at my wall of games here and the wall that was behind me before, and the hundreds of cartridges I've got in my storage space. There's so much for me to play. Like, I've been collecting for a very long time, and my collection isn't even as big as Vaughn's, but I'll become that old man that plays their old collection, hopefully, that's still going, and I'll enjoy my games, play those pile of shame games that I never played because there was so much to play at the time. And that'll be my gaming existence. That's cool. That's just my choice. But in between now and 2028, I am hoping that I will get as much physical media as I possibly can. Those games that once upon a time that I might have gone, nah, I'm playing something else. Well, now I see that as an opportunity on PS4, PS5, all those Nintendo Switch, all that sort of stuff, is to buy those games up secondhand and then have them for when the day comes at 2028 and I go, what's a game I've never played before? Oh, look at all those games that I never played when they came out. And that's gonna be my new set of games. That's my plan. Acquire physical media now while I can, and then enjoy it when gaming for me, new gaming, ends. So there you go. That's a little bit about my thoughts on the physical media uproar, the debate. One last thing I want to mention is, and this is a shout out to Vaughn, who I had a little chat about this with. And I really agree with him. I think he's spot on. He mentioned that he can, in his mind, he predicts that in the future, Sony and all these gaming companies will adopt the Netflix model. So you might pay, like you already do with Nintendo, to access their Super Nintendo games, their Nintendo games on the Nintendo shop. Maybe that's what PlayStation and other game companies will do. It'll be a subscription-based plan where, you know, it'll cost you X amount of dollars per month, and you'll be able to play these games, but you'll never really own them. It'll be like a library. You give them, when you end your subscription, those games are gone. Which is a very interesting theory, and actually, I think he's spot on. I really can see that happening, where rather than paying for the entire game, you're really just paying like you would at a video store back in the day. Young kids don't know what that is, where you would just rent the game off the shelf, and then after a couple of days, you'd give it back. So maybe that might allow me to still play, where I might go, you know, I really want to play this game, but I'm not willing to buy it. Maybe I'll start a prescription like you would with your streaming services where, you know, there's a TV series on and you want to watch it, but you don't want to sign up for good. So you just do the trial period, watch the show, end your subscription, you're out of there. Maybe that's something you'll be able to do with games in the future. I don't know, but it's a good theory. And yeah, comment on that if you think that you agree with that might happen as well, because I think that's a really great theory and I think he's spot on. I can see that happening. But there you go. That was a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a chucking my 2 cents in with everyone else's opinions and thoughts that are going on out there in the world. Everyone's in uproar and losing their marbles about what's going to happen and I'm never going to play, gaming's dead. Look, I don't think gaming's dead. Like I said before, I don't think gaming's going to be completely gone forever. It might be for me, or the way that I remember gaming, or the way that I want to game, but I don't think games are going to die completely. This isn't going to kill off gaming by any means. So, yeah, gaming will still live long. It'll just not have me in it, which is sad to say out loud, but that's how I'm feeling. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the videos, if you like the channel, please check, if you haven't checked out the channel, we've got tons of videos. There's all kinds of quirky reviews and all kinds of crazy game hidden gems on there that you might not have heard about, and that's what we love to do, is bring games that a little bit off the beaten track and bring them to people and show them that there's plenty of awesome games out there that aren't going to break the bank. So check out the channel, hope you enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see you very soon again for another YouTube video, back together as the Den Den Boys. Peace.